Take one, action. Well, hello there. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel. My name is Alex Liu. If this is your first time coming to A Liu Tube Productions, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for supporting, checking out my videos and coming back to watch another one. I am continuing my monthly content creator vlog series. I do one episode a month. It's basically just a video journal logging entry for myself to kind of talk one-on-one to the camera and kind of talk through my thoughts from a month's time of work and reflection. So this episode is a little bit late. I try to come out with these at the end of each month to sort of look back and recap, but life kind of got busy recently and some things got in the way, so I was not able to get around to this in the month of March. It's April 5th when I'm recording this, but we're gonna put this out as the March episode. So just to kind of recap Q1, I was mostly focused for the first quarter of this year on continuing really to do what I've been doing for the last year, end of 2024 to through 2025. And that was just to continue making videos, continue working on my editing skills, craft, and all that jazz. Try to increase the frequency a little bit, simultaneously do some projects. I've been trying to do a little bit better of a job of having more of a presence on Instagram, but it's been tough coming out with videos on YouTube and then doing shorts. It's already a lot of work, and so to do reels on a consistent basis has been tough. Just to kind of reflect on like the bigger picture so far from Q1. The end of Q1 in my 12-month to like a year, 2-year plan to eventually start doing video full-time, and long-term the plan is to quit my corporate day job career and really make that career shift. You know, realistically, it's probably gonna take another, year or so. I don't really think I'm gonna be able to just make that switch this year, just because of life and family things, and also we're moving from Maryland to Kansas City, Missouri. I'm not too focused and hard-pressed on trying to make some big career change and shift this year in 2026. It most likely could come in 2027 or 2028. But March was a little bit more about stepping back, reflecting, getting clear on my big picture roadmap and long-term goals. March specifically was focused on financials. I set out to kind of come up with a financial goal and my minimum viable income. And this proved to be a lot harder than I was expecting, just because after going through kind of where my finances, with my wife and I, where things stand now, and then where things will be when we are living in Kansas City with a lower cost of living, then also taking into account the fact that my wife is starting a new job in May. We are both going to be working full-time remotely. When we move out to Kansas City, some things are going to be changing, so there could be a chance that I actually kind of take a step back from work for a little bit. But with that said, I was thinking originally, oh my gosh, am I gonna have to make the same amount of money that I'm making now doing video? And realistically, that's most likely not going to happen, just because I don't have the experience and the gear, the equipment, the skills. I don't have the connections just yet. So after kind of crunching some numbers, I basically came up with kind of a range of income that I would have to be able to supplement to kind of account for what will be missing when I no longer have my income that I've had. But taking into account my wife's income, how can I kind of supplement that gap? The numbers are still kind of in flux, just because I think when we're out in Kansas City, we'll actually have a better picture day to day when we kind of really know how things are going to look. I have a framework financially, like in a spreadsheet in place, to really kind of revisit that minimum viable income later on down the road once we're actually living out there and we have a better sense of, okay, what is our day-to-day, month-to-month really gonna look like? How much am I gonna really need to strive for to try to make before I can actually make that change from, my current job to, doing video full-time. The point being, I won't need to replace all of my current income. A lot's gonna change later this year when we are out in KC. It's hard to, we can predict and project all we want, but it's gonna be hard to really know our full budget until we actually live there. Some things like utilities and some costs of things, we just don't really know. This one YouTuber that I've been kind of basing this 12-month plan to full-time, there was an action in there for end of Q1 to open a separate bank account that is just for video related income, but I don't really have income with that just yet, so I'm not going to open a bank account until I'm really ready to do so. I've only done a couple of freelance gigs here and there on occasion that I've gotten paid for. When I actually find work and it's consistent, I'm making money doing that, that will be the time when I start and create a new separate bank account. But some good experience definitely came this month. I have a neighbor who does video production. He has his own LLC. And despite actually living here for like 3 years, we finally made it happen. He's had a couple of opportunities this month for me to tag along as an unofficial production assistant and kind of shadow him and his crew, his team. They were musical theater related shoots. One was live event, one was more of like a commercial, on-set commercial type of shoot. I got to do some real PA type of work, things that I've been able to add to my resume really from start to finish, like loading up and transporting gear, being an extra hand to kind of help with setup, unloading gear, helping out between camera operators and seeing what they do and how they operate. And then everything kind of in and between that, and then, you know, a full day of like, you know, when it's time to close up, wrap up shop, and transport all the gear back home. Just being part of that process has been really, really nice, just because I haven't really gotten much of an opportunity to do that. I was a little bit hesitant in the past just because I thought, well, a PA is, you know, going to be like an unpaid intern, but the experience is great. So, and I've been able to network and meet some people. And it's kind of helped me also realize that I don't know if live video is something that I'm gonna want to do a whole lot of starting out. I just get pretty nerve-wracked by making mistakes and not being prepared and messing something up and then not being able to deliver high quality to a client. But I also think, depending on what it is, I don't have the most interest in like musical theater for the most part. I think if it was live event, if it was like sports, I'd be a little bit more interested. So that's just kind of one observation. But overall, like I said, great experience. Was able to network, you know, learn a little bit more also about the industry and like passive income sources through my neighbor and some other people that he works with. They were just kind of talking with me about even camera and gear that they own, and splitting gear sometimes if it's really expensive. And then some of this gear, including cameras and lenses, you can rent out, and they're pretty steep prices per day that people will pay to rent out your gear. So also just learning and understanding that video as a product, as a deliverable, clients are paying for not just like the finished product, they're also paying for the camera operator, video producer's time, they're paying for their gear, they're paying for the camera. So the more expensive and high quality some of these cameras are, like that's part of the price, is you're paying for the quality of the gear, the tool, the technology that's being used to make this final, you know, finished video product. So really, really cool to see all of that and just learn and kind of see a different side of things that I wasn't quite knowledgeable on before, kind of working with my neighbor a little bit. And I've also got to sit in on him editing a little bit, and it was one of the first times I've seen Adobe Premiere Pro in years at this point, since I made the switch to DaVinci Resolve. In terms of organization, I recently finally decided like I need a real content calendar. For most of last year was kind of using a Google Sheets Gantt chart, and that's just not really the best for video and creative work, in my opinion. I built a content calendar just last night in Notion. Like I said, Google Sheets, Google Docs, that's better for more like listing out just projects and concepts, but Gantt charts, and then just even keeping track of like, here's what I'm working on this month in a physical notebook, pen to paper. It's just too easy to lose track of that stuff. I like when I am editing and I'm on the computer and I'm kind of looking at, okay, what's my day and my week look like outside of my job and personal life. It's just nice to be able to see, okay, from these dates to these dates, I'm gonna be working on this project, especially when I have a number of videos simultaneously that I'm working on. So a true content calendar using Notion, and it's free. So far, I'm really liking it, and I'm gonna continue to see how that goes. Notion right now feels like the best system to stay organized with projects and priorities. Looking ahead to Q2, and my focus for April and specifically, we're starting to shift to building income streams. And before I continue onto that, I actually also in March, I kind of got a little frustrated one day and I started to spiral, and I was just getting a little frustrated and annoyed with my job, even though I've only started this new job for a couple months now. But I was just thinking like, man, maybe I need to really just start going for it and applying to some contract, seasonal, online, work from home, remote video related jobs. And so I made a couple of accounts on some websites, and I still have to do some accounts set up with some other sites and like staffing, recruiting type of sites as well for like creative work. But I made an account on Roster, and I was primarily looking for like video editing work, but I also listed like graphic design and like thumbnail design specifically. And I actually got a bite. A YouTuber who has a fishing channel, he reached out. I don't know if it was actually him or maybe his team, but I got a message and they were inquiring about me potentially being, a thumbnail designer for designing thumbnails for his videos. So we had a couple of messages back and forth, but they ultimately, after I shared some, samples, I put together a portfolio of some of my thumbnails. They decided to go with someone else, but that's actually the first time that I've even been approached and reached out to about potentially working together with someone. I've made an account with Upwork, and I found Upwork to actually be really hard to get work because you have to like win work opportunities. And if you don't have experience, you're competing with all these other people that have experience working on Upwork. And so they're getting a lot more of the opportunities. So far, I mean, I'm not even really pushing and reaching out to people much and applying to things yet. But in addition to that, with income streams, I'm gonna be starting to shift towards also affiliate marketing, maybe digital products if I can think of something that would be relevant and work for me and that I have time to actually like create, but also eventually like brand deals. So affiliate marketing and brand deals is kind of hopefully something that I can try to pursue between now and end of the year. The idea is to like focus, this is some inspiration I got from a YouTuber that I've been kind of basing some of these goals off of, focusing on products that I already know and am familiar with, products that I like to use, I love to use really, and I use them almost every day. So this could be things related to my dog food, dog related products, dog training related type of things. I play beer league hockey and rec baseball. There's things that I could potentially make videos about where I incorporate some of those products that I use. Things like that, I'll have to really brainstorm and think about ideas of what I can do for for those areas. But even if it doesn't really work out, or if it doesn't work out with me connecting with a certain brand, it's a way to practice and find ways and be creative to start doing that, to kind of develop that marketability side of what I'm trying to do with video. So that will be the focus as we go into Q2 now. So April to June, it's going to be about trying to build some income streams. So the affiliate marketing, digital products, brand deals, but also hopefully like applying online and trying to at least get an opportunity or two to make a little bit of money and do video graphic design work, or even if it's like writing and podcast type stuff, blogging, all these different things kind of simultaneously, also while still trying to maintain my YouTube channel and all of the different projects that I'm trying to do both personally and then eventually trying to do these things for other people. Busy, a lot going on, a lot that I'm staying busy with, and there's just never enough time in the day, never enough hours in the day or the weeks, but I'm having fun doing it still, and I'm not getting discouraged like I had been, I think, months ago. I've kind of taken a break from just religiously like watching so many YouTube videos of people talking about what to do and what not to do. Things are always changing, and it's easy to get kind of sucked into a lot of that. That's kind of just the rundown that I wanted to vlog about today and just kind of talk through. I will be back. Ideally, the goal is before the end of April to come out with another one of these for the month of April, but I've got a list of goals that I want to be doing and targeting this month while continuing to work on my projects. And speaking of that, I should probably add some of these goals to my content calendar to take breaks from actual video work and editing to trying to start pursuing some of these income streams. Like write down brands and different products that I can try to think about working with and incorporating into my videos. Yeah, I think that's just about all I wanted to get to today. So if you stuck around for the whole thing, thank you so much for watching. Whether you are family, friends, if I know you personally, or if you are a returning or new subscriber, thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you're new here, again, please hit that subscribe and like button, leave a comment, share, and check out the other videos in this monthly content creator vlog series, as well as all the other videos and series that I have on my main channel, Alu2 Productions, as well as my sub channels, Alu2 Gaming, Win or Lose Chiefs News, and Chief the Rottweiler. That's gonna do it for today. Again, my name is Alex Liu. Thanks for watching my monthly content creator vlog, March 2026 episode. I will see you guys later on in April. Capiche? And cut!